Greetings, Earthlings! Wisdom keepers, wisdom seekers, welcome back to Wisdom Drops, your source for daily drops of wisdom and savvy cat astrology. My name is Tanya. Today, we're discussing what is Virgo energy. I just did a video on the new moon in Virgo. You're more than welcome to check out. It's there for y'all, and that's on the lunation in general, like the charts and everything, and you can see like how that actually plays out with the astrology of now. What this video is focusing on is what is Virgo energy specifically. I've done other videos on this, but I just feel it's worth a nice walk through again, right? Like this video before I jump on in so I know that, more people are going to get to see it and we can share this information. Subscribe if you are new here. Feel free to share with a friend if you resonate with my content and you think they'd also enjoy it. All right, let's jump on in. So Virgo energy is, first things first, what element is it, everybody? What element is it? Earth element. Okay. Now, what modality is it? Okay, it's mutable. So it's not starting a season. It's not holding a season down. It's changing a season up. It's mutable. So you have mutable, you have Earth. Now let's combine another factor. What planet rules Mercury? Oops, Freudian slip. What planet rules Virgo? I said it. I spoiled it. I spoiled it. I know you didn't get to scream it at the screen, but you were thinking it. Let's be true. Let's be true. You were thinking it. So anyway, Mercury rules Virgo. It's an earth sign and it's mutable. Put all of it together and let's read what is Virgo. Well, before we can even do that, let's just put that on a shelf and go into the mythology. Shall we? We shall. So Virgo energy in mythology, the celestial body that makes up Virgo energy, right? That is all about the idea of being of service through humility, because it's this grain goddess. It's this sort of earthly incarnation of femininity, and it's almost in this way. It is how do I want to say it? There's something elusive about it. There's something physical and also elusive because it is feminine in nature, and it is physical in that it's an earth sign. Whereas if you take the other sign ruled by Mercury, Gemini, that's an air sign. So you can think about it in different ways. If you're comparing, how do these energies really manifest, right? The earth version of Mercury is mutable, just as the air version, Gemini. But in this case, it's feminine. It's more feminine, and Mercury in general is both. Mercury is very like masculine and feminine and masculine. It's very, very like gender ambiguous, right? But when you put it in Virgo as an element, earth is feminine, right? It's not a fire element, it's not an air element, it's earth. So it's feminine. So Virgo is a very feminine incarnation. And this is part of where we get this whole thing about the virgin, because we see this grain goddess, we see this idea of like a kind of a nurturer through service as well, because it's like this youthfulness, and kind of given the times that this all morphed out of, you can see how that's all very Virgo and aligns with a young female figure. Now, with that said, it's also a young male figure, right? And in its highest version, what Virgo is the service of the craft, because in its highest version, what Virgo is very skillful. The thing about the servitude component of Virgo is that it's been miscontorted throughout time and space, and patriarchy and hegemony, and just the idea of the white colonial neoliberal construct that still perpetuates this idea of white supremacy, and this whole idea just behind like the leveling of space and how everything has become one and monocultured out. It's just antithetical to the nature of spirit, you feel? And with that said, though, a part of that construct has been to kind of demonize servitude and to put servitude on a level of less than. And that's part of this like conflation between people of color, between queer people, between servitude. All this stuff has just been completely conflated. And so it's interesting to rethink what Virgo might be from a healthier collective psyche, if you want to think about it in those terms with me. What is Virgo? What is your personal Virgo placement in your chart? What does it mean, right? What is it about? What is it doing? What does it bring you the value of? You know what I mean? That's going to show you, more depending on the level that you're resonating at in your chart when you start to reflect over a healthy psyche of Virgo. Well, Virgo on a healthy level is all about the herbalism and the herbal witchcraft, if you want to think about it in those terms, the herbal healing, because it's about the transformation. It's mutable, right? And it's earth element, right? So it knows about transformative acts because it's mutable, it's changing. It's of the earth element, so it knows about like earthly matters, right? And then on top of that, it's ruled by Mercury, which is the planet of literal skill. So if you want to combine all those things, it's skill, it's earth, it's like the practical realm. So practical magic, right? Practical, great movie, by the way. Hello. But like seriously, you know, it actually does rule that sort of ability. And so anyway, I just think Virgo is a really skillful sign. There's no I think to it, it's just what it is. Everybody agrees on this, right? So it's just, it's what it is. Virgo is very skillful, very practical. It is very humble in that it can do things that other people can't because it sees levels that others don't. And the thing about Virgo is that it does see the minutia, right? It sees the microscopic amidst the larger context. It sees this like, you know, it sees the trees amidst the forest. That is Virgo energy inherently. So there's just some different things to think about. I hope that percolated some interesting thoughts on Virgo. Like this video if you haven't already, make sure it turns blue. Subscribe if you haven't already, comment down below, do all the cool things. And if you watch this video till the very, very end, leave me an orange heart down below. With that said, through next time, until next time, may the stars be with you. Peace.